You're so cute.
What is this, anyways? Oh, it's some of the science stuff.
Okay. Yeah, welcome to the Bump of the Night podcast.
That's our intro.
Everybody's half asleep.
He's got bad allergies and I'm really tired, but we're gonna pull through.
It's just that I'm stuck in a room with two energy vampires.
No, that's
one
you.
emotional vampire
Oh
and
my
another
God.
one that's just very boring.
Wow.
And they're just zapping energy out of me every fucking time they talk. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm falling asleep.
Wow.
Debbie Downer. Wah, wah, wah.
So I take it you haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows.
No, but I love that actor because, like, he's on cinema at the cinema, which no one knows, but it's Tim Heidecker and Greg, what's his name? Greg something. It's an Adult Swim, and they're just, like, talking about movies all the time. And Mark from What We Do in the Shadows is on there, and Tim Heidecker always picks on him. And it's just, he's hilarious.
He is great in What We Do in the Shadows. He is he's what they call a energy vampire.
Yeah. So anytime he enters, like, the room.
He goes in and then he just starts talking to people, and then he just starts talking to them just like with like mundane things, and you see people just like and then they introduced a emotional vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And so he sees her and is like, wait, like there's something weird about her. Like I feel like,
Oh, it's a girl?
yeah, it's a girl, and it's like, oh my God, like there's something wrong with her. And then he finds out that she's an emotional vampire. She feeds on pity for people like pitying her because she's like always has a story like, oh, my mom had cancer, she died.
God.
Oh, I got robbed at a theater, but they didn't take my money. They just did it for fun. It's hilarious. And then they get into like a big showdown at work when everyone.
Where do they
gone.
work? Like, is it an office?
So they work like kind of like like an office.
Office job?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of office though, but like you get the hint that Mark has a really boring job because he's in a cubicle.
Oh my God. Fluorescent lighting.
Yeah, so that's pretty much where that opening came from, and I've been binging that for past 2 weeks.
I heard people like the show a lot better than the movie. I haven't seen the movie.
So me and my lady went to go see What We Do in the Shadows, and we didn't get it. We didn't think it was funny. The werewolves were fucking hilarious, but they were only in it for like maybe 5 minutes. We're werewolves, not swearwolves. You know, that whole bit was fucking hilarious. But the whole entire time it was just like I don't get it. But then I had my friend R, and he was talking.
I just didn't think it was funny.
Well, my friend R, because this is why I said we didn't get it, or I didn't get it rather. Is that my friend R was talking to me about this, and he's a big fan of the movie. I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't think he was funny, but he was telling me that a lot of it was just really deadpan, and so it was supposed to be like that. So like the way they just do things and just like really deadpan everything, that's the humor in the movie. So, in watching Ragnarok, I kind of see that now. Because he did the same thing with the core character in Thor. So, he did the same kind of... He injected that same kind of humor in that.
Is he British?
No, he's New Zealand.
Oh.
From New Zealand.
Because their humor's, like, different.
Yeah. And so, I think I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it. Because the fucking show is fucking hilarious.
Do they use the same actors from the movie on the
show?
show?
But they did make an appearance, though, in 2 episodes back in the Vampire Council.
Uh-huh.
But these vampires are American. But they exist in the same universe as the movie.
I want to check it out. I don't get FX. That's why I haven't been able to watch it.
Oh, man. When you get to the trial, you have Tilda Swinton.
Oh, she's in it?
She plays the head vampire.
Oh, nice.
You have I always have a hard time pronouncing Evan Rachel Wood.
Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah. Reprising her role from True Blood.
That's right. She was a vampire in
She was
True
the
Blood.
queen.
Yeah.
Paul Rubens.
Really?
Reprises his role from Buffy. Danny Trejo reprises his vampire role from Dusk Till Dawn.
How did they get all these people? That's awesome.
They got Wesley fucking Snipes from Skype.
Wow.
He's all Skyping in and his Wi-Fi's on a delay. And he's all like, "Who's this motherfucker right here?"
Does he have his like blade haircut or his like sunglasses on?
No, he has his sunglasses on,
Oh,
and
okay.
he's like in daylight, and then all the
my
vampires
God.
are like talking shit to him. It's like, look at him, Daywalker, that motherfucker.
That sounds funny. I want to watch it.
Yeah,
Give me your password.
All right, I'll do that off air.
Yeah, don't give it away right now.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I thought I think the show is fucking great, and it got renewed for a second season.
That's good.
And the creators said, they actually, so for the council, they actually made an offer to Brad Pitt to come back and reprise his role for Louis. Yeah.
Oh man.
But they never followed up on it though,
it.
and he was interested in doing it.
Wow.
They never reached out to Kiefer
Lestat?
Sutherland passed on it. So nah, I'm good.
Really?
And then they never made an offer to Robert Pattinson or Tom Cruise. They
I feel like Pattinson would get a lot of hate.
Oh yeah, they made a joke about that though, because
Which sucks because he's awesome.
Rachel's all, oh yeah, Rob, he's gonna leave it in the past. He's, so let's not bring it up. It's funny because they all play the same characters, so like the characters they play in Vampires, they're actually vampires.
That's funny.
So Tilda Swinton is actually a vampire.
Did you see that movie, Only Lovers Left Alive?
No, but I didn't know she played a vampire.
That's her and Tom. Yeah, her
Hiddleston.
and Tom Hiddleston. Mm-hmm.
I looked up the trailer and I was like, oh, Jim Jarmusch did this. It'd be interesting. You know, Michael Fassbender was supposed to actually be that guy.
Really?
Yeah, that's supposed to be Fassbender.
I could kind of see it because
he
Fassbender
was already
can be brooding.
He was already casted, but due to scheduling conflict, he had a bail, and so they got Tom Hiddleston. I wonder, that movie might have been different with him in it.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I found it on Prime, so I'm definitely gonna watch it. That's a movie that we definitely should talk about. Though.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's my rant on What We Do in the Shadows. I think that's a great show.
And
hilarious. Let's see. Anything else? You got anything you watched? Or?
I finally watched the Kane Hodder documentary, To Hell and Back.
Oh yeah,
did you get to
good.
see it?
Yeah, I bought it.
I didn't know how sad it was gonna be.
Yeah,
it was so freaking sad. I always knew like he was a burn victim, but I never knew
the story behind
it and how severe it was, and the whole hospital drama. Like, holy crap! Like that when he's just talking about like, he didn't feel the pain right away because it like affects your nerves, but then you feel it afterwards. I can only imagine that.
Yeah,
that's just crazy.
Yeah, that was a tough watch. That middle, especially when you get to that point,
and you can see him like tearing up too.
Yeah, he's like, we got to cut, dude. Like, I can't go through with this.
I've never seen him do that because he's such a tough, tough guy.
Tough guys have feelings too. Man.
I know, and then it's sad because I also didn't know he was bullied. That had a big, he must feel good playing bad guys because then he can take out his aggression.
He even touches on that too toward the end. It's like, yeah, I like playing these kind of characters because I can let a lot of frustration
let that frustration out,
And a lot of fans, especially like on our group pages and stuff, they talk about how they met him. It's like, oh man, he's such a cool guy. He's like such the nicest guy, and there's not a bad word about him from anyone at the conventions.
Yeah,
everyone that sits next to him is like, yeah, I want to send us to Kane Hodder because he's pretty funny. He's pretty cool, Yeah. So he's actually going to be at the Sinister Creature Con in June,
which we still is to be determined.
Yeah, well, I'm going regardless. It's just a matter of going for the weekend or for the day.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But Kane Hodder is definitely someone that I want to have strangle me. I want him to strangle the fuck out of me.
Choked out.
And then black out.
Choke me.
Choke me.
Choke me.
He got in trouble for that,
I know. Is that why he wears gloves now?
No.
Why does he wear gloves?
So, I don't know what the story was, but Steve Dash was telling me because he was hesitant to do that with me. Like, will strangle me.
Steve Dash?
Yeah, Steve Dash. Oh. Last year, when I went to the CreatureCon, he was there, and I asked him, because him and Kane Hodder had a... Huh?
I have a photo of it.
Yeah. And so, him and Kane Hodder shared the stage for all the Jasons, and them two just kind of, started talking shit to each other.
That's hilarious.
And then, but Steve Dash says, oh yeah, Kane doesn't do it anymore because he
choked someone, right?
He choked a fan a little too hard, but Steve was saying that the fan was being an asshole and talking shit, and so Kane just kind of
Don't talk shit to Kane.
He's like, hey, choke me.
no-no.
And then, boom. And then he almost sued them. It's like, what the fuck?
Wow. Well, it's funny because in the documentary, everyone's like, yeah, he actually does get a good grip on you. You know? But they all just laugh about it because, like, that's to be expected, I guess.
Yeah, but that was before that happened, though.
Was this a recent thing?
Yeah, it was like the documentary was shot about 2 years ago. And that incident happened about a year ago.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, shit.
You want to get, like, really choked out by him, I can tell. You're
like,
yeah, choke me. Yeah, choke me, Kane, choke me.
Well, at least
TMI.
at least I died the way I lived.
That's like your ultimate fantasy.
Yeah, pretty much. Other than that, then, you know, that's probably the second way to go. Then, other than having a lady sit on top of me and strangle me.
Whoa, I thought this was gonna go somewhere else. Whoa.
Especially with this body.
I thought I was gonna hear about something totally different just now, like face sitting and. All right, anyway.
No, I mean.
All right, next. The show has gone completely perverted.
She's completely shunting me the whole entire time.
I don't know what's up. Today is a weird day, you guys. It's gonna be a weird day.
How do we segue that into Mother's Day?
Happy Mother's Day.
How to get pregnant and have fun at the same time.
Oh my god.
See, this is what happens when we're not like fully aware. This is what happens. See? This is your fault, Elysa.
How is it my fault? I'm just sitting here.
You wanted to do this on Tuesday. We could have done this on Monday and it probably would have been a better show.
I can't do Mondays. Anyway.
So it's your fault. But
okay.
We actually did celebrate Mother's Day with an infamous mom, La Llorona. And we want to say thank you to all the people that sent in their recordings. Paul, Caesar, Danny, and Smooth G for his smooth takes.
Smooth takes.
You know, we appreciate all the love you guys sent us. Please, if you guys have any more, like, you know, paranormal experiences, or you like feel you like you experienced a ghost or anything, please, you know,
feel free to reach out to us. DM us.
DM us, or you can send us your audio recording at johnnyzuko@gmail.com. That's JOHNNIEZUKO@gmail.com.
Send me those DMs, girl. Drop me those DMs. Slide into your DMs. Sorry, I don't know what's going on.
Oh my god, this show's completely off the rails now. Okay, so you know, in honor of Mother's Day that happened.
Mother's Day.
I'm gonna have a clip of Rebecca
like,
De Mornay
out.
screaming Mother's Day.
I love oh, I thought you were gonna talk about The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, because that's a really good movie. And that could kind of be a Mother's Day movie.
Yeah.
I didn't see her remake of Mother's Day.
Well, I heard the remake was actually pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
I really like her.
Okay, well, I haven't seen the original, but I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't
It's
seen
very campy.
Is it?
Yeah.
I heard the Mother's Day one takes it really seriously. It's not campy
really?
at all.
Okay.
It's pretty gnarly.
I want to check that out.
But yeah, so in honor of Mother's Day, we reached out to our moms.
Our mamas.
And we asked them what their favorite horror movies were.
Their top 3 favorite horror that also, like, scared them. Because these, like, really scared my mom growing up.
Yeah, my mom... So my mom was not a really big fan of horror movies.
Does she scream? Like, if she goes in the theater, is she like, ah?
No, she won't go see a horror movie in the theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she won't go see a horror movie.
So she'll watch it, like, in her living room.
She won't even watch it now.
Really?
Yeah, she won't. And I think it's... Yeah, she gets scared, and I think a lot of it, too, is has to do with, like, religion.
Oh, okay.
So she kind of...
She won't like the ones I picked, then.
Well, I'm going to touch on those in a bit.
Yeah.
And the thing is that... And plus, my mom's home alone now. Mm-hmm. And I'm out of the house, and there's no one there. And so she doesn't want to watch a horror movie because, you know, she's in a house by herself, you know? So... You don't need to watch a movie like that about home invaders when you're alone in the dark.
That sounds like my night.
You know, so that's not a good look. So, but she never liked horror movies, although she showed me like horror movies.
Yeah.
She took me to go see Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5 in the theater, and then she told me, "Oh, if you get all, you know, good grades, I'll take you to go see Freddy's Dead on opening weekend." And you know, I got good grades, and she took me to Freddy's Dead, but she never really liked horror movies the way I liked horror movies, or like how my stepdad liked horror movies, or like how my dad liked horror movies. Because they just showed me like a bunch of crazy shit and like, here, watch this.
Watch this by yourself.
And so my mom was never really like that. And I think a lot of real incidents that happened to her, because she got robbed at gunpoint at a gas station.
Whoa, that's scary.
When she was, when I was about 3 or 4. I didn't find this out till I was about fucking 20.
Wow.
And that's one of the reasons why she bought mace and why I maced myself.
Whoops.
And so I didn't know what it was. And it was like this little black thing. I was like, what is this? And there's like a button. I push it. And then I see like this little, the air come
Did you
out.
mace yourself in the face?
Yeah. And so like, and I'm like, what is this? And then like, and I push it again and it pops up.
Oh.
I'm like, what? And then I pushed it, not knowing that that was the directional thing. And it was aerosol too. It wasn't the stream. It was actual aerosol.
It burns.
Yeah, they took me to the hospital, and I was about 5 or 6 when that happened.
God, that's
It was pretty fucking bad. And so, and I got it in this eye,
Ugh.
and it was like a full dose. I'm like, oh my god.
What did they give you to like not be in pain, or did they put anything in your eyes?
Yeah, they put something in my eyes, but I think they had to like give me something.
Yeah.
To like, you know, so I can stay still, because I was fucking, whoa. As soon as that happened, I ran out of the room like, ah.
Yeah. As a little kid too, like that's traumatic.
Yeah, and so my mom was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing? And my stepdad's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because I would always come around and do some crazy shit like that, but like, and then he went in the room and he saw the mace thing. He's like, oh shit, we need to take it to the hospital.
God, that sounds painful.
And so, like, you know, I think real life experiences have also kind of helped my mom propel away from horror.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want to deal with that. That's too fantastical. But the horror movie, and then, you know, a lot of real things. It's just like death. That's kind of that's something that she doesn't like talking about.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons why I feel like she moved away from horror movies like later in life.
Yeah.
But while she did, she did see one new brand movie, and I kind of wish she didn't pick this fucking movie because it pisses me off.
Which is it, the one I like?
Yeah. and the only reason she liked that was because Angel was in there.
He's hot. I mean, come on. Like,
The only reason she likes the fucking movie is Angel.
he's a hot killer. What can you say?
Yeah, so my mom's horror movies has kind of drifted throughout the years. She used to like oldies, and all of a sudden she's about then she went into country for a while, and then she's all about gospel music now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really interesting evolution to my mom's arc, you know.
My mom has always loved horror. Like, she's always been into like the paranormal, like really cool stuff. She doesn't get scared easily at all. She actually gets bored super quick. So, and then she'll like go on her phone if she's like not into it. And I'm like, put the phone down. But, like, she has always taken me to watch horror movies. We've always watched horror movies together. So it's kind of like our thing too. But a lot of the stuff she likes are like possession and not anti-religion, but a lot of like that kind of, you know, like realistic, like devil, like creepy kind of stuff, like really gets her, and like ghosts and paranormal and all that kind of stuff. So those, mine definitely are like the ones she picked definitely have a theme, and the ones she picked, she was in high school. These are all in the 70s that she picked. So she was young. She was in high school in the 70s. So, yeah, and I don't know. I feel like the ones that she picked are still scary to this day and still freaking hold up. Absolutely. And
with the exception
so
with one, I kind of disagree with, but which we'll talk about as soon as when you mention it. I don't know where it ranks, but there's one that on the list that I'm like, I don't know about that movie.
Curious to know which one, but we'll talk about that. So,
so does your mom still like horror movies? Does she keep up to date with like the current horror? Like, is she a fan of like today's horror?
She does. She doesn't go to the movies, but she'll like watch Netflix or Amazon or like, you know, stuff that's like streaming. So like, and then I'll be like, hey mom, did you watch this? Or she'll tell me, hey, did you watch this? So like right now, there hasn't been any. I mean, the last movie we watched together was The Nun, and she like left. She like thought it was so boring. She,
I told you. I fucking told you.
So she was like,
and she was only in it for like fucking not even 5 minutes.
She was only in like the freaking end. And when they showed her in like the water, that was the coolest scene. That was like the creepiest scene.
No, to me, I thought the coolest scene was when she walked in the cathedral. And all of a
Oh,
sudden you see
yeah.
the shadow
Yeah.
just walking.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh man, that was just so cool.
Or
I don't
like
know, because
when-
it was just so creepy because there was, I don't know, the way they filmed it just looks so creepy.
Or when they show like her, you know it's her and like sitting in that chair, but the veil is on and like her movements, that was creepy too. But yeah, like I don't know, like I got her into watching Chambers, so she really likes Chambers. It's not really a whole lot out right now. But yeah, The Nun was like the last thing that she saw, and then she got up and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go, it's boring. See ya.
Wow.
So yeah, that's how she is. Like if it doesn't hold her interest, she'll just like turn it off or not, or like go on her phone or something, you know, research something, or I don't know.
Yeah, I feel bad for you guys, man, watching The Nun. Like, how does it feel to waste an hour?
You know, it sucks because like, you know this, I thought she terrifies me, like especially in The Conjuring 2, like when she shows up in that hallway or the painting, that is some scary shit. And that actress also played another role in Mulholland Drive as like the crazy, I don't know if it was like a homeless person, but it's the one behind the dumpster that pulls out. That actress is known for playing extremely creepy roles. So she just freaks me out on her own. But yeah, it was they could have done such a better job with The Nun. Like they really, like the fact that they shot, you know, and I think it was Bulgaria or Bavaria or something. They shot like in a really cool place, really cool church, and it just was boring. Like, I don't know what they could have been so good and like possessing.
And I feel that another thing too is that when they're trying to world build this Conjuring universe, and they're not doing it in the right way.
Yeah.
You know why the MCU is so successful in crafting their universe is because they took their time and they set things up.
Yeah, they didn't rush it or add the stupid little thing.
And so it took 5 movies to get to the Avengers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you had little tidbits at the end of the movies connecting them. The problem with this is that they're making the universe the actual plot point instead of the backdrop.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like if they take a hint from like the first 5, all those, like the Avengers Initiative, that's all in the backdrop. Those are set up after the credits. If you would start doing that, I think that would work. And how they try to do that toward the end, where they meet Lily Tomlin's character. Did you get to that? Did you even finish watching the movie?
Yeah, do they have it be the guy in The Nun? The guy ends up the one being possessed. And...
No. I'm talking about at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
Lorraine and Ed are there, and it's the Lily Tomlin's character.
Yeah, but the guy the clip that
they're
showing...
But I'm saying that's how they connected that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Like, if you would have just kind of used that, that's a good way to connect it. But with La Llorona being in the Conjuring universe, they're just trying...
Annabelle,
Annabelle, too. I don't know. I kind of want to see that next one, though.
Did you watch the last Annabelle?
No.
The kids were great. Like, the kid actors were really good. And they have creepy hands. Like, they do a really good job with creepy hand work. I don't know what it is, but...
I don't know. This Annabelle one, it looks like it's present day, and it actually looks pretty good. I think it was called The Curse of Annabelle or something like that.
Something like that. Who knows?
Yeah, but I don't know. The Nun, that's garbage. That's all.
It could have been so good. That's all I'm gonna say.
A lot of potential.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. All right. So should we get started on our? So we had our moms choose 3 movies each. Mm-hmm. So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You go first. I went first last.
All right. I'm gonna save the best for last. I didn't do these in order, but I will save the best for last. So the first one I will start off with is The Omen, 1976.
How are you gonna start off with that?
Because there's to me personally, I think this is like the most cursed film of all time. Like, reading up on this, oh my god, so much crazy stuff happened with this movie. So The Omen came out in 1976. It's about a possessed demon child, and this family thinks it's their son, but it's not. You find that out a little later. But he just wreaks havoc with everyone, everyone that surrounds him pretty much, and causes a bunch of chaos with everybody. Have you seen the original Omen? So they remade it. The remake wasn't as effective, in my personal opinion. This one, I don't know, like this one, even watching it to this day, it's still very effective. It's very chilling. the way like his acting is, the music, just the visual imagery, everything in this, it still holds up for sure.
Well, one of the reasons why the original thing holds up very well is because that kid is very fucking creepy.
Yeah, and I want to talk because a lot of people. So in addition to picking these, I wanted to add some trivia just because I feel like this episode is going to go pretty quick because a lot of people know what these movies are about. So I wanted to add in some trivia with these.
Go for it.
So here's a bunch of trivia for The Omen. So Gregory Peck, who plays the father in the movie, his real son committed suicide shortly before filming, which is very sad. So he took this as a job just to get out of the house and to like distract himself. So the actor who played Damien was cast because he actually attacked the director. When 4-year-old Harvey Stevens auditioned for the role of Damien, director Richard Donner had him act out a demanding scene. When Donner invited Stevens to attack him, Stevens did right in the balls. So that's the move that got him the role as Damien. I can just see that happening too. Like that's so visual to me for some reason. Like The Exorcist, many believe the production was cursed. Designer John Richardson was in a car accident that decapitated his passenger, just like a scene that actually happened in The Omen. An animal trainer that was hired to keep the cast and crew safe from the angry baboons was killed by a tiger. In the words of the producer, he was killed the day after we shot there. He was killed by a tiger. He grabbed him by the head and killed him instantly. That's pretty traumatic. Gregory Peck was on a London-bound airplane on his way to filming when the aircraft was struck by lightning. Weeks later, producer Mace Newfield was on his way to the shoot when his airplane was also struck by lightning while crossing the Atlantic. That's not enough for you. Screenwriter David Seltzer's plane was also struck by lightning. Director Richard Donner's hotel was bombed by the IRA the day after they shot the safari park scene. An airplane the crew hired for aerial shots was rented to someone else and then crashed, killing several people. These are only a few things that I wanted to jot down about this, but there's even more, and I just feel like that's pretty severe. Like that's pretty crazy. Those are really traumatic things.
Yeah, you know, that's that ranks up. You know, and we actually talked about this too when we were getting together to do the show. Like, actually, the idea of the podcast, and this was one of the ideas, film curses. Mm-hmm. You know, and this one really is. This one does feel like there's a curse on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
especially that the fact that one of the special effects guys died the same way he designed.
Yeah.
You know, that's not even coincidence. You know what I mean? That can't be coincidence.
So many omens.
Yeah, for real. So what was the reaction to your mom's? Do you know? Yeah,
so she saw this. God, how old is this? This is 1976. So she was like a sophomore or something. She just thought it was creepy, like especially because back then women had children a lot younger. Like right after high school you had a kid and you like got married, so this was like around the time like before you're moving out of the house to like start your life. So I think this installed the fear of having a child, having like a demon seed child. But it's just the scenes like are very unnerving. You just feel she just felt very like tense, and while watching, especially like the baboon scene, the person falling off the building and dying, you know, him riding like his bike, like just a bunch of crazy things that make you feel nervous. And back then too, like a lot of women were babysitters, so they would babysit, you know, as a job. So that's another thing too, is like, oh, you don't want to get like a little shit like Damien babysitter, you know. So those are like the main reasons why she likes this. But even to this day, she thinks it holds up as just being a very creepy film.
You know, I haven't seen this movie in a very, very long time. And I saw it when I was about in my teens. I haven't seen it lately, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch this for sure.
I think you might have a different view watching it now because you're older.
Yeah, and I think it's because like more when you're watching it, it's more like you're just watching for the kills, or you're just watching for something else. Yeah. But to actually kind of understand what's going on with the adult situations, I think you can have a much better appreciation for the film. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I do.
So what happened to the child actor?
So one thing I read about him is he actually went missing in real life. The child actor, they tried finding him, and I think they had to hire like a private investigator or something, or because he went missing for a long time.
Right.
But then they found this was like when he was older, but no one like heard from him and
ever again.
They did find him, but I remember reading something that like he was a missing person at one point. I don't
He
know.
ran away.
Isn't that crazy?
He also got in trouble for punching somebody
On the set or later on?
later on. I was just wondering if the movie is cursed, if anything seemed to follow him since he
was Damien.
Since he was Damien.
You know, I think that name inspired a lot of horror fans to name their children Damien. I know a lot of people with kids named Damien.
I think any bad luck that followed, or any, because I guess he had an anger issue where he punched somebody, probably because he's a Scorpio.
There you go.
That's probably why he attacked the director.
But I know I read something like he actually went missing for a bit.
He was probably in prison. That's probably why he was missing for a while.
He was a cute kid, though. Super cute kid.
And I do remember the sequels not being as good.
No,
and there were a lot of them were heavily focused on the slasher.
Especially the one with Sam Neill. Like, I love Sam Neill. And
was that 4?
That was 3. He was the adult Damien. They could have done... This is what I wish they did for that. He, like, meets a woman and tries to impregnate her to carry the seed. Like, I wanted that to be the Sam Neill one, and it just wasn't. It was him at, like, school or, like, boarding school or something.
How old was Sam Neill? 40? When he did that role?
No, he was, like, 20s, I want to say.
And he's in boarding school?
Like, college boarding school or, like, a, you know, not like a kid. Like, 8th grade or something like that. But, yeah, like, that one just, that could have had a lot of potential, too.
Man, you have Sam Neill, man, playing Damien. Yeah, that's a lot of potential.
He looked good as him, you know, and he had that, like, accent and just, like, kind of had, like, a, what's his name from Dark Shadows, Barnabas? He had kind of, like, that vibe, you know, if you're a Dark Shadows fan. But, yeah, the sequels just weren't as good as the first, and then the remake, I just don't think was as effective as the original.
I don't know, they try to do a lot of social commentary along with it, and... just kind of missed the mark.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know.
The remake was in 2006?
Yeah, with Julia Stiles.
So he was in that one.
Yeah, didn't he do like a special appearance?
Like the reporter, like
the
tabloid reporter.
What does he look like now? Because he was such a cute kid.
Yeah, they have a picture.
But, yeah, so that's
he looks a little bit, to me, like Flea.
From Red Hot Chili Peppers? What? Oh my god, yeah.
We're going to be posting a picture of this dude.
Oh my god, totally.
We'll be posting a picture of Damien on our Facebook, on our Instagram page, so our listeners know what the fuck we're talking about.
He does look like Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's so funny.
Yeah, you're going to have to send that to us.
Alright.
Okay, so, unlike yours, my mom doesn't have any really good taste in horror movies, so...
Burn. Yo mama.
Only one's good, but the other two are really fucking bad. Oh my god. And of course I'm talking about 1998's Valentine.
Okay, I love your mom because everyone knows how much I love
this fucking movie's garbage.
I love Valentine.
Garbage.
I don't care. So why did your mom...
Fucking garbage.
Why did your mom like this? Just because it's Angel?
Because of David Boreanaz. Pretty much. That's the only reason why she loved it.
He was big at the time, though.
Yeah, at that time, I think he had Angel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Angel was like a really good ratings drop.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it was kind of a misstep on them not to capitalize on that. Not to give him top bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
Cats.
No.
We got cats and microphones.
Don't mix.
Yeah. Okay, did you find any like trivia about this?
Oh, hold on. I got a pepper shaker on top of me. Hold on a second.
We got cats attacking.
Drooling.
Cats
Come on, producer, do your job. The cat producer's not doing her job.
The cat wrangler.
The cat wrangler.
Ah!
The cat whisperer.
The cat whisperer.
No, you were actually supposed to grab her and throw her across the fucking living room. I'm kidding.
Wow, are you Damien?
I'm kidding. I love Pepper. Pepper's my favorite. I don't like the other one, though.
Lisa, because she's a bitch.
I like Lisa.
I love talking shit about
So,
my cats.
my mom really liked this movie. We rented this movie at Hollywood Video.
Aw, shout out to Hollywood Video.
Yeah. And it was my stepdad that wanted to rent it. And he's like, hey, look, let's rent this. And she's like, my mom's like, I don't want to watch horror movies. But look, it's Angel. And that was a selling point for her. And so she watched it. She didn't really like the movie. It's just like one of her faves because of David Boreanaz is in the movie. And I'm honestly surprised she didn't pick I Know What You Did Last Summer, because me and my stepdad dragged her to go see that. And she actually kind of liked it.
I feel like that film gets a lot of heat. And I loved I Know What You Did Last Summer.
The sequel is pretty bad, but that's a topic for another day. But she really liked this and she enjoyed it. I don't know as far as that. People know my feeling on the fucking movie. I am very indifferent to this movie.
I don't know why you hate this movie so much.
I don't hate it.
You hate it because I like it. So you're trying to be like cool and like, oh, if you like something, I'm gonna fucking hate it. So I'm gonna
Get the fuck out of here.
That's your trip. That's your
Hell
trip.
no. Get out of here. No. I was always indifferent to this movie, and again, you know, I even gone on here like the selling point for me was Denise Richards and all that, and just wild things. You know what I mean? I was a teenager, so leave me alone.
Perv.
But, I'm a normal 13-year-old. I mean, what? Come on. If I'm fantasizing about being the killer, then you should be worried.
I don't know. You're fantasizing about being choked out by Kane Hodder, so I don't know.
That's
I don't know
normal.
Jesus Christ.
That's normal.
Like the Hulk here is gonna like rip his shirt off.
Didn't they say Hulk was an Aries?
Yeah.
Oh, I could totally freaking see that. Kane Hodder is too.
There's a lot of trivia on this movie. I don't know, man. This movie's garbage. I don't even want to talk about this movie.
Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate.
So for the scene, one of the trivia is that Denise Richards' body double, when she was in the jacuzzi, she suffered multiple cuts from the glass being sharded.
Ooh.
So she got cut or like
Sharded.
Yeah.
She sharded in that hot tub.
Did you ever see that video? Never mind.
And Denise Richards was cast in the film.
We're really mature today,
Where
guys.
do your fantasies go?
Yeah, sharded, choked out, Denise Richards.
Richards, sharding.
Oh my god, it's like 2 girls, 1 cup.
This fucking show's going off the rails.
Continue, please.
Well, she got cut. Denise Richards got the role without auditioning.
How'd she get cut?
Man, someone kicked the fucking producer out.
She say that again. She got casted without auditioning?
Yeah, she got cast without auditioning.
Interesting.
Marley Shelton took inspiration from Mia Farrow in her films, especially Rosemary's Baby to prepare...
Baby.
Man. This is not a good show.
Rosemary sharded.
Rosemary's Berry. Okay, anyways. Do you want me to...
Wait, hold on.
to read the trivia for you?
Let's see. The maggots in the candy scene with Lily Voigt was inspired by a childhood incident involving Don Coscarelli when he saw his father eating a candy bar in the dark, and all of a sudden he started spitting it out, and it was loaded with ants.
Ew. Well, ants won't really taste like much, right? Because I mean, they're just little.
But I had a similar incident with maggots.
Ew.
Where someone gave me something that turned out to be, and I didn't
With maggots
realize.
in it.
And it did have maggots in it.
Every time I think of that, I think of Lost Boys.
It was
They're maggots, Michael.
disgusting. I took a bite out of it, but I didn't.
Protein.
I was like, oh my.
Chocolate maggots. Oh, that's so gross. I know, I can't eat rice the same now.
And then Warner Brothers executives weren't behind David Boreanaz being hit with the candy glass bottle out of concern that he would be injured, but he and Marley Shelton conspired to do that together. They told him they knew he needed to do the shot and did it of their own volition. But there were some cross words from executives after the fact. That's crazy.
They make like a good couple. Like I bought them as a couple.
Yeah, I guess.
Such a hater. Well, I don't know.
Okay, so here's an interesting thing, and this is kind of something that I wish I knew when we did that episode. The ending where Kate is attacked by the cherub, who is promptly shot by Adam and then unmasked to be Dorothy, was left unexplained in the theatrical cut, as it's revealed minutes later that Adam was the killer the whole time and framed Dorothy without explaining why she's in costume. A deleted scene reveals that Adam had attacked and knocked out Dorothy and then dressed her in the cherub
I
costume
told you that.
to frame her, and her attacking Kate was just in a disoriented state after having been hit with the head.
I told you that.
It was cut for spoiling the identity of the killer. That doesn't work. You needed that scene. That's such a key scene.
That's giving too much away.
No, it's not. That's a fucking pivotal plot point. You needed that. Get the fuck out of here.
That gives way too much away.
No, bullshit.
That's like, you might as well just show him without a mask on killing people. Like, that gives way too much away.
No, it doesn't. It shows that he's doing that.
No, you get that because when he hugs her, we argue about this all the fucking time. So at the very end, when she, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking castrate you right now. Oh. His nose drips. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my dick so hard that you choke on it, and then you fucking die right here, you motherfucker.
You started it.
Me?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just sitting here.
One more.
Out of your way.
One more. Several death scenes in the film had to be trimmed in post-production to secure an R rating, including a shot of Katherine Heigl's throat being slit and cut to a profile shot instead. Not by the MPAA, but by Village Roadshow. Blanks was disappointed as his host for a 1980s slasher style meant You Better Spill Some Blood. Village and Warner had trimmed several of his kills even after the MPAA had awarded the film an R rating. The argument was that Warner was uncomfortable with releasing such a gory film shortly after the Columbine school shooting.
Yeah, they cut a lot of like gore out of it.
I would really like to see his original cut. Yeah, honestly,
we talked about that last time.
I think his original cut would have probably been a much better film.
It's definitely more slash.
Yeah, but I think also I think it'll make sense toward the end though.
Like, what are you gonna do to like?
Oh my god, just move on. Just move on.
I'm going next. Okay.
Move on.
So another film that my mom really likes is Amityville Horror from 1979.
Okay, so why didn't you start with this movie?
Why didn't I?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to start with the Omen. That's why.
Yeah, I think this is the weakest one out of the three.
Well, there's reasons to this.
Personal reasons.
Yeah, there's personal reasons to this one. So this came out in 1979. Due to all the fame the book and film had brought upon the real house in Amityville, the new owners replaced the evil eye windows with normal rectangle-shaped windows. And they did do that, and I wish they didn't, because when I went to visit it, it still has that like creepy effect, but it's not the same without those creepy windows. So that's what they did, because it gets so many tourists and high traffic around there. The real town of Amityville denied American International Pictures permission to film any scenes whatsoever in Amityville in an attempt to distance themselves from any publicity. So they actually ended up shooting in New Jersey with a similar looking house. James Brolin said he didn't get a job for 2 years after doing this movie because of the cruelty of his character. He got real close to George Lutz and was friendly with the kids. But both him and actress Margot Kidder didn't believe it was a real story. This one actually cracks me up, speaking of like insects. So cinematographer Fred J. Kohnkamp had a hard time filming the scenes with all of the flies because he was scared of insects. He said that whenever he had to film a scene with a close-up facial shot of a fly right in the camera, he would look away or close his eyes and hope for a good shot. He also lost 30 pounds because he refused to eat, saying the flies made him lose his appetite. I could see that. Like, if you're really afraid of something, you're just going to kind of like not want to eat and not have anything to do with it, just because that's pretty gross and terrifying. And I will say those scenes of the priest and the flies still hold up. You get that creepy sound effects of the buzzing. You see him sweating. I don't know, like you just feel that scene when you're watching. And I know that scene's been made fun of a lot, like Scary Movie 2. The opening made fun of it with James Woods and with The Exorcist, but it's a creepy scene. Like anytime I hear like buzzing, I always think of that scene for some reason. Last fun fact is my mom is the real cousin of the real Kathy Lutz, so I think there's like some personal stuff going on as to why this film affected her personally. So that's another thing. But yeah, this movie I think still holds up. For me personally, is because house possessions scare me especially the scene where you hear it saying like "get out." That scene creeps me out. Anytime where like they're turning on the water and it's like blood and you see like her reaction to it, that freaks me out. Just like the possession that slowly happens to George is really creepy, and how angry he is and how red his eyes get, and it just affects the whole family. I think that's what really gets me. Is it's not just like, it's not a slasher movie, but you feel it affecting everyone in the family. And I don't know, to me, I wouldn't want to be in that situation, so I feel like that's why like it would scare me, and that's why it scares my mom as well. But yeah, the remake with Ryan Reynolds, just, I don't know. Like, that one wasn't as effective. The only good thing was, like, his shirt was off and you get to see, like, you know, his muscles and stuff. But, like, that was, like, the only good thing about the remake. Did you see the remake?
Yeah, and I think both of them are very lackluster movies. I don't buy Ryan Reynolds as a dad.
Yeah, it was kind of comical.
He was too young, and
it was comical.
The thing is that, you know, the dad wasn't cut like that, and the
no,
reason,
not at all. It was skinny.
and the reason he was cut like that was because at the same time he was filming Origins Wolverine.
Yeah,
and that's why he was cut. The problem is that, you know, he didn't look like your average person.
He didn't have a dad bod, you know.
No, so that's the thing, and it's like, oh well, fuck it, whatever. Like, this is what get the girls in the seats.
That's what got me to watch it.
Yeah, see, there you go. Case in point. But I think both movies are really slow, and none of them really pick up till like that third act. And the original one is really psychological, and James Brolin is a fucking bastard in that movie.
He was great. He was
a
really
fucking
good.
bastard.
Yeah.
My mom saw this one. Again, Hollywood Video.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Video is going to be coming up a lot.
I miss Hollywood Video.
Yeah, me too. And so we rented this, and she fucking found it boring.
Really?
She did not like it. She's like, oh my god, this is... Like, it's right around the time where, like, he comes down the stairs. Like, I think it's the third time or whatever. She's, like, snoring in the back.
I'm shocked because you said she's religious, so I thought...
This is before that. This is before all that.
Okay.
She didn't get religion until about, like, maybe 5 years ago.
Because then I was like...
This was, like, mid-2000, early 2000s. And this is around the time where she kind of flirted with the idea of watching these kind of movies,
Mm-hmm.
but the only reason she watched it was because, you know, it was the only time where we all got together
Mm-hmm.
and actually kind of bonded like a family. And that was the only reason she did it, was to, like, you know, family time.
Let's watch a possession house film, you guys, and we'll bond over it.
But that was the thing that brought us together, because, like, you know, again, it was, my home life was very dysfunctional. And so that was the only time where we weren't really happy, was when we can actually sit together and watch a movie.
Yeah.
But my mom just found this fucking movie boring, and she fucking hated it. Like, oh my god. Like, thanks. I wasted $2 on this.
Wow.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
It's not for everybody, I guess.
I thought it was okay, but then watching it as an adult, I'm like, oh, this is a slow movie. I don't think it works very well. And then I always confused this movie with another movie that took place in the attic. It was called The Beyond, with the lamp.
Oh, yeah.
With the crazy lamp that turns into, like, some gooey shit. And
No, that's one of the Amityvilles. There's a lamp.
No, it's not a lamp. It's an actual thing in the attic, and it's all slimy and shit, and I don't know. I think it's from Beyond. I think it is. Because I often confuse that, but because I always remember the eyes. I always associated the window eyes with that movie. Mm-hmm. And so when we got this, I was like, oh, cool, we're going to see this movie. But no, it wasn't that one.
Because it's funny, because there is an Amityville that has, like, a haunted lamp, and it's absolutely ridiculous. There's a lot of Amityvilles.
There's one with Meg Ryan. I think that's, like, 2 or 3.
Is that the Santa Cruz one?
What?
There's one that, like, takes place in Santa Cruz, I think, or... I don't know. There's a lot.
There's, like, fucking 10 of them.
There's a bunch. I actually really like the second one. Where it's the son that's getting possessed, and there's like a weird incest thing going on.
Oh yeah, I think that's the one with Meg Ryan. I think that's the one.
Oh, she's a friend.
Yeah,
she's one of the
she's
friends
hardly
that comes
in it
over.
or something like
she's
that, right?
barely in it. Yeah, I actually really like that one. But no, I to me, if you have had weird stuff happen to you in a house, which I have had, I don't know. I feel like
still have.
No, I just feel like I don't know. I feel like. It's just creepy, like especially if you're home by yourself and you hear weird things, or you know, as like a kid, you're hearing weird things going on, and then you watch this movie. I don't know. I don't mind slow movies. I'm one of those people that doesn't have ADD, and I don't need stimulation every 5 seconds like today's generation. So I can sit there and watch this in an hour and a half, like easy peasy.
And it feels a lot, but the thing is though, like watching it now, it feels like a 2-hour movie.
Not to me.
It feels really long. It's
Not
just
to me.
really slow.
I don't
mind
it's
slow burn movies, but when it's very slow, like at a slug's pace, it's kind of a slog to get through.
I don't think it's a slow movie. Suspiria is a slow, long movie.
That's another conversation.
This is just an hour and a half. Like I don't know. I don't think it lags or anything like that. I just definitely think it builds the tension between George and Kathy, and you see it affecting the kids, and you see it affecting like the priest. I think it builds up. I don't think it's slow at all. But you know, if you're not into house possession or stories like that, I don't think it's for you. But I could definitely see teenagers back in the 70s being scared because there's so much hype about the book and the movie and the case.
House.
Yeah, so...
And the house is... And I think what people take away from it, too, is the house is very iconic.
The house is a character in itself, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I think this still holds up. But I haven't seen it in, like, a couple of years. But last time I saw it, I was like, no, this still creeps me out. So, I don't know.
All right, so my mom's next one is Halloween, the original. We talked a lot about this, and she really liked this movie. She related a lot to the characters. She thought the characters were very well drawn out. She liked Michael Myers. Not for the same reason you do, but she thinks Michael Myers is effective.
I think he's effective as well. It's not just because I think he's hot.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And you say, I got problems. Okay. But, you know, she really liked this movie. And she saw this probably toward the mid-90s.
Really? That late?
Yeah, she didn't see a lot of horror movies like growing up. The one movie that you will talk about, I will tell a story. But she didn't really see a whole lot of horror movies. Mm-hmm. And this one she kind of came to late, and she watched it. She's like, oh, this is cool. I like this. And this is one of the movies that kind of got me into horror, you know. Nightmare on Elm Street was one that's already like kicked me into the door, but this one was like one where it's like, oh man, there's actual characters in here. Growing up and watching this movie, it's just like, you know what, this movie really does hold up, even though there's a lot of fucking problems with the movie.
A lot of people think the movie's slow. So interesting.
No, but the thing is that your characters are very likable, though. That's why. You like Laurie, you like Annie, I
don't like Annie. I thought Annie was so annoying, but I love Laurie.
But Annie is like a friend, though. You know what I mean? She's a real friend. You know what I mean? There's never at one point does their friendship feel fake.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You buy that they're all like real friends. That they hang out together. And
so she really liked this movie. She wouldn't go into much why, but she enjoyed it, and she thought, oh yeah, this scared me toward the end of the movie.
Did she see the new one?
No, she was kind of pissed that we went without her. And so she didn't talk to me for a while.
Wow.
So I was like, well, I'll go. I'll take you. Like, no, I don't want to go. You already seen it. I'm like, fuck. So I can't win. So, all right, whatever. But I have some goofs, though.
Some goofs?
Yeah, some
There's a lot of goofs.
Some continuity errors.
There's a lot.
So at the 4-minute mark, when Michael Myers as a child walks through the living room with a knife, the clock above the stove shows 9:25, and on the clock on the wall reads 9:40. But just 7 seconds later, the clock chimes 10. And let's see, there's another one too that I thought was pretty funny. Oh, where is it? Where'd it go? So when Michael goes to school and gets into the car to follow Tommy, the passenger side window is no longer smashed from the previous night attack on the nurse. Walking home from the school, the girls are seen to be traveling along the very dry street. However, when Laurie is left alone, the streets are obviously wet now.
Oh my god, that's right.
At the 19-minute mark, when Dr. Loomis is talking in a phone booth after Myers escaped, "It's your funeral!" That's the line. When
he doesn't say it like that.
Shut up. Yeah, he does.
If you don't, it's your funeral.
No, that's not what he says. Shut up. Well, stop hating on my overacting. When he exits the booth and notices the abandoned truck, a crew member is reflected in the glass of the phone booth.
Really?
Yeah. The movie is set in Illinois, but when Tommy and Laurie are going to school, the trees are California palms.
Palm trees, yeah.
Factual errors. Due to daylight savings, it would be dark when Annie picks up Laurie, but in 78, clocks were turned back the last weekend of October. We find out that Michael is 6 when he murders Judith in 63. The main part of the film is set in 78, making Myers 21. However, the credits have him aged 23.
I remember that.
And then one last one. After unsuccessfully trying to strangle her, Michael cuts Annie's neck with the kitchen knife. This should cause artery spray, but there is absolutely no blood. You know, that's another thing too that was so great about that movie, that it didn't really necessarily need blood to be effective.
Exactly.
You just needed the hint of it, and then it worked. And I think the reason that also worked is because the music was so good
and suspenseful,
and he knew when to cue in the music. It
builds up. Yeah.
So like when Annie goes back, if that one was made today, when Annie goes back to the car, the music would already start kicking in, and you would know something's happening.
Exactly.
But Carpenter has such discipline. When Annie comes back, he doesn't do anything to make you think anything is wrong.
Yeah, she's just like singing her or like whistling her little song.
Yeah, and she goes back to the car, unlocks the car. Right there, even in today's standards, when she opens the car, there'd be a stinger right there.
Like, there'd
be like a music cue.
Yeah.
You know, to let you know. But he has so much confidence in his audience for the audience to pick up on that. Mm-hmm. And then it's not till Myers jumps up in the back is when is when the music kicks in. And I think that's what makes the movie. That's my phone.
I feel like a lot of films back then did that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you go and watch a movie today, they're gonna have music every fucking 5 seconds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you watch movies from back then, it's scarier because there isn't any suspension, like letting you know.
To that idea of what's scarier, being shown everything, or where you have to use your imagination.
Exactly.
And I always think using your imagination is
more effective.
Is way creepier.
Agreed.
It makes it more creepy.
Yeah.
I do. I'm on that boat too. But as someone that was growing up on some 80s bad slasher movies, you know, I do like seeing that shit too. And I think when you use it like as a camp, like, you know, really campy, I think it could be really fun. And I think that's the point. Like a lot of the things that I try to write are supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be campy. It's playing homage to that. Like, I don't want it to take serious. I want it to be like, oh, you know. I want you to laugh at it, and I also want you to think, oh, hey, that's pretty funny. You know what I mean?
For sure. Like, don't get me wrong. You know me. I love, like, the campy slashers and all that and the funness. But just, like, as a personal opinion, if I really want to be scared, using my imagination, that's what gets me more. Like, that's what affects me more, is to being, oh, that was really scary. Like, that's really creepy. You know, like, that just, I think it's more, I don't know, like, it makes me think more. It stays with me more, you know, it makes me think about the movie a lot. Whereas if I watch something campy, it's like, oh, it's just fun entertainment.
I feel like slashers work better when they're campy, though. I honestly feel like
Halloween isn't really campy.
I know, but that's what makes it so good, and one of those slashers that actually works very well. You know what I mean? I like but I do think a lot of the slashers do work when they're campy, though. They do work because, you know, they're supposed to be junk food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the slasher genre is like,
it's fast food.
Yeah, and like the possession films and the art house films.
That's caviar and champagne.
Monster films, you know, even the monster films, monster creature films are above slashers. You know what I mean? Because they're taken just a little bit more seriously.
There's a bunch of monster movies coming out. Like, what's that crocodile one?
Oh, Crawl. I haven't watched the trailer yet.
Really?
Have you watched it?
I did, yeah. I was like, oh my god, if that was a shark, I would die.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet because I read the synopsis about it. I was like, no, I'm good. But then, like,
it's the guy that did the what's his name?
Alexander Aha. Yeah. And then
I
found out that he did it, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should go back and watch it.
I like him. He's one of the rare directors that does good remakes, which I never say. But I like
Hills Have
him.
Eyes is pretty decent.
I like the Hills Have Eyes remake.
I do think that's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was mine.
That was your mom's second?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my mom's favorite, most effective, holds up till this day. The Exorcist.
Yes.
Okay, so my mom saw this movie in the theater.
My mom did too.
and she had a fucking traumatic experience.
Let's
A
hear
lot
it.
of people did.
A lot of people
And
did.
so
I got a fun fact about that.
okay, so she saw this movie, and I think she said she walked out in the middle of the movie or
No
something
way.
like that.
Really?
And she never finished the movie because it was so intense and so scary to her that
Yeah.
she would never watch it ever
Wow.
again. And when my stepdad tried to rent it,
Mm-hmm.
she's like, no. And then he would try to be sly and say, okay, he rented it, and then she found it and she fucking threw it away.
We're not even allowed to talk about it. I mentioned
Are you
it.
serious?
I mentioned it the other day.
Yeah, we
because
can't
I
talk
really
about it because my
wanted
mom
to
has like
understand
such
that.
this. Because it's like so based in reality or like in real story. Because
Yeah.
it's said it's a real story and there's a real case about this.
And it's a book too. It's a novel.
Yeah, and so she fucking flips out whenever this
Wow.
movie is brought up. Whenever this movie is on TV, she
She'll
changes
change
the
it.
fucking channel. She sees
man.
Linda Blair, change, gone. Like she can't watch a Linda Blair fucking film. That's how bad it is.
Wow.
You know? And it's just
Yeah.
like, so she gets so mad. I bought The Exorcist,
Mm-hmm.
and I bought The Exorcist the beginning, right? So I bought
Oh.
that one. And she thought it was the original.
Mm-hmm.
She fucking broke it and threw it away.
Oh my god.
That's how intense and that's how bad this movie scared my mom.
Especially now too, since she is more into religion, I could see her just like not wanting to have anything to do with
Yeah,
it.
but
you
back
know?
then she wasn't as religious. She was like carefree and stuff like that. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened, but even up to that point, she did not want nothing to do with this. And when I tried to rent it when I was a kid, she was like,
Yeah.
she slapped my hands like, no,
Wow.
you can't watch this. I forbid you to watch this in my home. Like if I try to watch this, I swear she flips out
She
and
flips out.
unplugs the TV.
And did they show it every
This is
Halloween?
not an exaggeration. This is not an exaggeration. My mom is really scared of this
A lot
fucking
of
movie.
people
A
had
lot of
that
people.
reaction.
She
I watched the documentary.
yeah, she is fucking scared of this movie, and I don't get it. You know?
Well, I
I mean,
just think it's so effective, and to have a little innocent. Here's the thing with like, remember we were talking about like kids in horror movies.
Mhm.
It's really rare to see a kid die, or a kid to get injured, or a kid to be, be the main character.
But we also talked about like when the kids is in harm's way.
Yeah.
That sets up that no one is safe. Because
Right.
once you harm a kid, that means everyone's fair game.
Exactly, and she's possessed, so it's like, whoa, she's
She
really
was
fucked.
Excellent. She
Yeah.
was really good in that role.
Yeah.
Really believable.
So believable, and like
so creepy.
you still watch it to this day, and it's like, oh, like it is
Oh,
slow,
it is.
right? It's a slow movie, but it's very effective.
It's
And the
very
scenes that they do show that are scary, or just, it's not like blood and guts, right? It's just very like
disturbing.
disturbing
It's very
scenes.
disturbing.
The scene that
The
gets
part with
me,
the cross.
that was what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
The scene that gets me the most is the when she's stabbing her vagina with the crucifix.
And that was, I think, part of why it's
It's
so
shocking.
shocking.
Yeah.
And back then, why people were like, "What
They're
is
like, what is
happening?
this?"
It's a
You
little
know?
girl. Not only that, with a
Yeah.
with a cross.
A
So you have
crucifix.
people like, oh my.
I mean, there's still movies that don't show stuff like that today, you know?
Yeah.
So,
You know-
It crossed like a boundary. there,
Literally.
too, like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, not only is that so disturbing, but then people are like,
yeah.
that's blasphemy. Like, it was so blasphemous.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Like, how dare they show this,
Yeah.
And I think even if you watch it on cable, they don't show that.
No, they cut it. They
Cut it. Yeah.
They keep the
dare
cam
they?
up here
Yeah.
while she's doing it,
And then she turns
and
it
then
around.
they overlap the
Do you know
both.
what she did, your cunting daughter or something like that? I'm like, whoa, even the language is like, what the
That
Yes,
is an
so
awesome-
my mom has never finished a movie.
wow. To
And-
this day.
To this day, and even if I have any of the Exorcist sequels, she thinks that she associates the Exorcist with those sequels. So
Wow.
even if I have the prequel or Dominion or whatever,
Yeah.
she throws them away.
She's like,
because
"Not having it."
she's thrown my Exorcist the beginning away. I'm like, are you fucking serious? You wasted like $20.
Man, that sucks.
She says,
Omen
well,
who did they sue? They sued a woman fainted in the theater and broke her jaw.
Ooh.
While they were watching and sued. I don't know,
The original- in the
producers.
original one?
Yeah.
Wow.
In the 70s. I'll have to
So-
look it up.
What's funny is, did I write it down here? Because so many people were throwing up watching this movie in the cinemas. They actually had to hand out barf bags with tickets.
Yeah.
Like, they don't do that anymore. What the hell? Like, that's pretty intense, you know? And what's funny is, like, this film came out the day after Christmas, 1973. Like, hey, kids, let's go to see a holiday movie, The Exorcist. I just can't believe that was 1973. Like, wow. All right, so this was the first horror film to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar. It earned 10 Oscar nominations in 1974, including Best Supporting Actress for Linda Blair, who was only 15 years old at the time. I remember hearing some controversy about this because she didn't do the voice. It was another actress that did the voice. So they thought, oh, well, shouldn't the actress that did the actual voice be nominated? So there was kind of like a bunch of, drama going around with that. But that's pretty cool to have that many nominations in horror. Like, that's very rare. You don't really, that like never happens, you know? The green vomit from Reagan was actually Anderson's split pea soup mixed with oatmeal. I always knew it was split pea soup, but I didn't know it was Anderson's, and I love Anderson's soup. I think Anderson's soup is so good.
What?
That's pretty gory, though. Like I can't look at oatmeal and pea soup the same anymore. Like, that just makes me want to gag. I didn't want to get into this too much, because if we are going to do a future episode on curses, but many of the cast and crew thought the film was cursed. A priest named Father King was brought on multiple times to bless the cast, crew, and set when production moved to DC. By the end of the film's production, 9 people associated with its making had passed away. So there's a lot of stigma going on that, oh, there was a bunch of curses. I know when Linda Blair was doing the scenes where she's on the bed and she's like jumping up and down and like being possessed, she actually got hurt from the ropes that were tied to her. She got couple of injuries from that. But yeah, like, I don't know, like this, I'm just trying to think of like scenes in this movie that really creeped me. I would say the crucifix, the throwing up, even the performance from the priest was kind of haunting in a way. Like, you just felt like such sadness for him, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't know Max von Sydow was like super young. They actually they added makeup to him to make him look older. I didn't know that until reading some facts. Yeah.
So how was your mom's reaction to this?
Oh, she's like, to this day, nothing gets me like that film. Like, just the possession, the story, like, it just creeps her out, you know? And like even the scene, I know they added some scenes when they did a bunch of re-releases, like her when she's
doing a spider walk,
the spider down the stairs. They added that later. But like, just the mother-daughter relationship, especially too, like that affected her. And I remember one year
scenes where you could see what was his name, Captain
Howdy,
where you see him, the face,
the
face,
the
like,
demon face, yeah, in like her room, right? Like I remember one year I went away to stay at my friend's house for the summer. I was like 13 or something, and there was like a postcard with Linda Blair as the exorcist, as the demon, and it's like the face is so gross in the makeup. And I sent my mom that for like from home, and she's like, how dare you send me that, like, to open up the mail and see that face. But yeah, you look at the makeup, like, it is kind of campy looking, but to me that's more effective. It's kind of like Evil Dead. When it's like not perfect makeup, to me that affects me more. I don't know, just a personal opinion. But
so according to this is Warner Brothers' highest grossing film of all time when adjusted for inflation, and it made $44 million at the box office. Linda Blair got death threats for 6 months, and they got Warner Brothers signed their bodyguards.
Wow.
That is I don't know. My mom would never watch this movie.
So she doesn't know it had a happy ending?
I don't know if you can consider that a happy ending.
She's not possessed anymore.
Yeah, but both fathers died though.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Linda Blair and I peed together. In Sacramento last year. She was in the bathroom next to me.
Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to touch on. It was like the original teaser trailer, which consisted of nothing but images of a white-faced demon quickly flashing in and out of darkness, was banned in many theaters and deemed too frightening. Jack Nicholson was up for the part of Father Karras before Jason Miller landed the role. A freaking thought that he was too unholy to ever play a priest.
Wow.
I can see that. Because right before that, he was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Which is a great movie.
That's a great movie. I got to visit the steps in Maryland. They hold up. They look pretty creepy. It's funny that Linda Blair's mom is the one that like encouraged her to do the role. Like she loved the script. I was like, that's a cool mom. It's a pretty cool mom. I don't know. Marlon Brando was the studio's first choice for Father Merrin.
Fuck that.
That would have been way too serious.
It worked.
I'll make the demon an offer he couldn't refuse.
Oh yeah,
okay. I have to say I agree with your mom about it. That it's a movie that has an effect.
Yeah.
No, Mom.
Like
yeah.
No other movie has affected me the same way. It's one of my top.
Yeah, I don't think no horror movie could really.
No exorcist themed or exorcism themed movie has I've ever thought.
I'm trying to think of like the newer ones are not. They're not as effective for some reason. Why is that?
It's because they're kitty gloves. And here's the thing too, is that they're taking the thing about it, and this is one of the things that I think about it is that now that everyone has a fucking platform, and so I feel like once they start going into like territory or crossing religions, they feel like, oh no, they're gonna ban us. Oh no,
that's the thing. It's like it's kind of you have to walk.
This
on
movie didn't want to walk on eggshells, and that's why it worked. A lot of the other exorcism movies, they kind of play with kitty gloves. They touch on it, but they don't really raise a lot of questions.
They take out the crucifix scene.
Yeah.
I mean, they should leave it in.
But do you think people too, because if you look at a lot of the 60s, 70s movie, they were more ballsy.
Yeah, they were more
like wanted to push for. Like you look at Rosemary's Baby, that's pretty effective to this day too. Like I haven't really seen a lot of like devil spawn movies that were so creepy like that. They were just more effective because they wanted to be original.
So
they wanted to try new things.
It was a time of pushing the envelope and seeing
let's do drugs and do movies.
Deep throat.
Well, here's the thing. Like this may sound off topic, but it isn't. But like, why do you think Larry Cohen was such an effective filmmaker throughout the 70s and the 80s?
Yeah.
If you look at his movies from Bone to God Told Me to Q, those were all movies that really just were out there, but yet so in your fucking face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was just such a ballsy filmmaker. And, you know, back then, I feel like a lot more things were lax. But now with security and, social media and a lot of people, they're just kind of tightening down on things.
Yeah. That's why we need more room for those independent artists, to have that vision, to be gutsy, to not like...
It's a fine line between trying to be shocking and offensive. You have to walk that fine line because you can't be both. You know what I mean?
Today, everybody's offended by everything. Everything.
Yeah,
so
like Sonic the Hedgehog trailer.
Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
What? I didn't even think it looked that bad.
I didn't even mind it. I was like, whatever.
I didn't mind it either. I'm like, oh, he's cute. He's cute.
But apparently this is off topic, so off topic. But apparently the actual director and the cinematographer were like, they didn't like it either.
Wow.
They didn't like it. They didn't have any input. And so they're like, this is not how we wanted our Sonic to look. And so they even reached out to the Detective Pikachu guys. Say, hey, the guys that did your Pokemons, can we bring them over to Sonic really quick? Because we need some help, Paramount.
So is that going to delay like when the film comes out?
I don't know. We'll see, though.
We'll see. All right. So, yeah.
Come November, we'll see. Man, this show is so fucking off the rails. Oh, my God. Okay, my number one. And it is a fucking boring movie. The Lady in White.
I love that movie.
Movie was so boring. I could not get through with it. I was like, oh my God, this movie is so bad. So bad.
I
don't even know where to begin with this movie.
That's your mom's like top?
That's
her favorite?
That's her favorite movie.
Why does she like it?
She loves that movie.
She likes it because it's cute. She really likes the kid in it.
Lucas Haas, I love him.
and she really likes his ears.
Because he has big ears.
Yeah. That's one of the things she says. Oh, yeah, she has that kid with the big ears. I just want to flap him. Like, flicked his ears and shit.
That's like Leonardo DiCaprio's best friend in real life.
Yeah, they always hang out together.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, though.
You're not surprised?
No, I am surprised.
Oh, why?
I don't know. I always figured him and Mark Wahlberg would be best friends, but...
They used to be.
Basketball Diaries, when he was doing the Marky Mark thing, Leonardo was not a fan. He's like, dude, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
He didn't even want him in that role. So, yeah, that's a different conversation. So this movie, my mom is her favorite movie. I can't really even call it a horror film, actually. It has horror elements, and it has at its root, at its core, it's a ghost story.
Yeah,
we'll give it that.
It's based on urban legend,
And it kind of goes along with what you guys talked about last week. It's like a kid movie, basically, yeah.
Yeah, but he's like, it's kind of serious though too, because the guy's trying to like kill the kid. Yeah. Like so it is not like
he actually almost killed him too.
It's not lighthearted at all.
No, it's not, and there's like an undertone of racism as well throughout, and.
He should have punched that kid for saying the N-word, not for what he said. I was like, what?
10 minutes in, one of the kids just drops the N-word with a hard R. Like, Jesus Christ.
And that was made 1988. But it takes place...
Take that fucker out.
It doesn't take place modern day, right? Doesn't it take place in, like...
1950s.
Yeah.
And then it's the beginning takes place in present day.
In present day.
So this movie was budgeted at $4.7 million, that's estimation, and only made $1.7 at the box office.
Yeah.
Despite positive reviews from critics, the film was a box office bomb, but later earned a cult status.
It's always on cable. Like, it would always be like late night TMC or AMC.
I didn't know Dick Miller was in this movie. Was it Dick Miller?
As who?
As a sheriff? Mm-hmm. Was it him? No, it's not him. But Mo Green was in there, though. He played the dad.
Oh, that's right.
So I tried to watch this movie. I just could not get into it. It felt very slow, sluggish. I'm like, man, just get to it already.
You just don't have patience, do you?
No, I have patience.
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, I have patience. Once you meet my mom, you'll understand.
Like, what are we, 5?
Yes, we are.
Man.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about this movie. This movie was not fun for me to watch. I did not enjoy it.
Emily Tracy, who plays Frankie's mother, is Lucas Haas's mother in real life. That's cool. Reading some facts. Russell Carpenter, who would later win an Oscar for Titanic, was the director of photography for this movie.
Oh, was he?
Mm-hmm.
There was another interesting one, too. So, people that don't know, this is basically, and Arthur tells a story about a young boy growing up in the 60s. It's the 60s, not the 50s. In a small town, he was haunted after witnessing the murder of a little girl. And so, basically, he gets trapped in the attic over Halloween night by some really bad friends. And he happens to see this ghost being strangled or dying in front of him. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, the man in black comes in and he is looking for something. And he is watching him, and then he makes a noise. The rat startles him, so he makes a noise. The guy looks at him and says, "What are you doing here?" Mm. And then all of a sudden, the guy was strangling the fuck out of him.
Yeah, it's kind of serious.
And then he almost dies because he gets to, like, the afterlife.
Yeah.
And then they bring him back. And then throughout the whole movie, he's, like, trying to figure out, oh, no, that's the wrong guy. That's not him. Mm-hmm. That's not his voice. That's not him. I said he was wearing black. I didn't say he was black. And it was a black.
Oh, that's right.
And it was, I think they pinned it on the janitor who happened to be black. And he had access to the school, so they ended up pinning not only the strangulation to the kid, mm-hmm. but the murder to the little girl as well. Mm-hmm. Just because they wanted to wrap it up.
Yeah.
And there's an ending. Toward the end, they figure out, oh, no. The ghost comes back to him, says, hey, follow me. Mm-hmm. And then the kid goes. It's like, oh, that's what he was there for, because he's looking for something. Let's go. He mm-hmm. gets his brother, and they go, and they find out who it was. And it was like, yeah.
It's definitely like a fall movie though. Like I love the opening when it like you see the leaves and you know it's Halloween and they're dressing up and they go through like their cute little downtown area. Like it's very cinematic and it gets you in the mood for Halloween. But yeah, it's not for everybody, you know, especially if you...
Again, you know, and we talked about this too, like 2 episodes back, like, you know, nostalgia.
Yeah.
How I was raised on R-rated horror instead of being...
What was this rated? Do you know?
PG-13?
PG-13?
Yeah, this is 86, so yeah, I think it's PG-13. But, you know, again, it's just like one of those ones where it's like, yeah, if I watched it as a kid, I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. But watching it as an adult... It doesn't feel... I don't know. It just feels like really sluggish. I just couldn't get through it. It's like, man, this sucks. When is this over again?
Wow. Did you watch it with your mom or no?
No, I watched it with my lady and then she fell asleep.
You fell asleep? Wow.
On the DVD commentary, the director Frank Logia says that he got the idea for using the song "Did You Ever See a Dream Walking," which is a significant plot element in the movie, from hearing it in Eddie's Cantor movie Roman Scandals. Actually, this song does not appear in the Cantor film. It was written for the musical Sitting Pretty. Both Rothman Scandals and Sitting Pretty were released in 1933. Russell Carpenter, who would later win an Oscar for... Never mind.
I saw that one.
Yeah. The piano song heard as Frankie goes by Amanda's house is called Claire
Debussy. I love that song.
Yeah.
Claire de Lune.
There you go. By classical artist Claire Debussy. There you go. See, there you go. Rochester, New York native Frank Langella based the film on a popular and long-standing local urban legend known as the White Lady. The legend has it that the White Lady had a daughter who disappeared at the hands of a predatory young suitor, and so the White Lady roams the lake front to this very day searching for her missing daughter. The supposed residence of the White Lady is actually the base of the demolished hotel that was built in the 1800s, known as the White Lady's Castle. It has become a popular tourist attraction and a party site for teenagers. So you're out that way. You ever visit that?
No, I never got a chance to visit Rochester.
So
have you heard of it?
PG-13 didn't start till 84.
What's that?
It was PG.
It was PG?
Yeah.
Oh.
This was made in 88. Gremlins, I think it was Gremlins that was the one that sparked the PG-13. Because
it started in 1984.
After Gremlins,
Gremlins is PG-13?
PG.
That's shocking.
No,
Wasn't Jaws
Indiana
PG?
Jones,
Yeah, Jaws was PG too.
Indiana Jones created the PG-13 rating.
Really?
Interesting.
It's funny because there's a lot of... Because I remember reading that their Gremlins was the reason for that. Because a lot of parents took their kids to go see that movie, and they were scared shitless when they saw that.
This ain't a kid movie.
You know, and... Because back then, PG movies were... I mean... Fucking, what's the Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom? They have a guy ripping some dude's heart out, and it's PG. What the fuck?
It's weird. A lot of movies in the 70s and 80s that were like kind of graphic were PG. Come to think of it.
Jaws.
Yeah.
You know, Toby Hooper was this close, or like you can't see that, but like he was very this close. You still can't see that. He was very close to
like an inch.
Yeah, there you go.
Half an inch.
Half an inch. So he was very close to getting. He was very close to getting Texas Chainsaw Massacre a PG rating.
No way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
He was close.
There's no way.
He even said it because on an interview, and this is actually documented. He's on an interview. He goes, no, it's not. It's not. And I'll tell you why. He said, "What do I have to do to get a PG rating for this movie?" She said, "I have this girl hanging on the meat cook. So what can I get?" So, well, don't show penetration, you should be good. And actually, if you look at that scene, you don't see the hook go in her. You see her hanging.
But they're hitting the girl at the dinner table. There's blood. They're eating people. Like, there's no way that could have gotten a PG.
No, like he was really close to getting like a PG because he was actually considering it.
That's crazy.
It's like, whoa.
That's nuts.
And remember, this was 1978. He could have gotten away with that.
I feel like Halloween could have gotten away with a PG.
Yeah?
Yeah, because there's not a lot of blood. I mean, they show boobs, so if they edited that out and, like, just minor stuff, that could have got PG. Totally.
So, you know, that's, to me, that I find that really interesting. It's like, oh my God, like, think about that.
Think about that, kids.
All right, where was I again? I was saying something.
It wasn't important.
Okay.
All right, so I'll go over my mom's 3 again. It was the
Indoor
Omen,
voice, please.
The Omen, Amity. I'm not the one being loud.
Yeah, I
today.
was gonna say.
I'm like deaf from hearing you.
That's
The Omen,
the kettle black.
Amityville Horror, and The Exorcist. All 70s.
I don't want to repeat my mom's 3 because they were not really good.
Halloween, Valentine, Lady in White.
Yeah, well, it's like 1 is good, but the other 2 are just bad.
Valentine is great.
Valentine is garbage. Garbage.
That's funny.
We will continue that debate next Valentine's
really
Day.
Like. All 3 of those movies you really like.
Yeah.
Look.
All right, well, I'm like over it, so thanks everybody.
Thanks. Well, wow. Okay. Well, fuck. And you talk about me. All right.
I'm just getting yelled at in my own house. So, all right, everybody.
No, this isn't your house. We're in my mom's basement.
Next week we have a fun episode.
Wait,
I'm not gonna give it away.
No. Are we doing that next week?
Yeah, we're doing that next week.
Okay, because I have some wild ass fucking suggestions. Some really wild ones.
When don't you?
Shut up. So, I don't know.
That's next week's episode.
That's next week's episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to plan that out today then.
Okay, so
you're stuck with me for
I
another
thought
hour.
You were leaving.
oh my god, I just want to fucking go to bed and like just kick you out.
See, this is what I have to deal with. See, my co-host doesn't even like me.
Nobody likes you.
Yeah. I know.
Nobody cares. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Nobody cares, like Sonny says. All right, well, I'm your host, the Boogeyman, for my co-host, whoever the fuck that is.
Ginger Snap.
And our producer, whatever.
Ms.
Bye.
Moist. Stay scary. Bye.